us now is the mayor of the city of Springfield, Domenic Sarno. Thank you as always, sir. It's good to have you in. We appreciate it.
Jim, anytime, and you are the Charlie Rose of Western Massachusetts.
All right, that may be the last pleasant thing we talk about today. It's a tough subject.
Yes.
You've complained to the State Executive Office of Housing and Community Development, and the city has separately filed a claim in housing court in one particular instance because, as you put it, you see the state dumping, word you've used, homeless families in Springfield. Specifically, you've talked about Lower Forest Park neighborhood in that housing court case. It is a problem you've talked about for a while.
Yes.
You say it's piling poverty on top of poverty. The state disputes some of this, and we'll get to that. But what's your major concern here?
You know, first of all, we've been nationally recognized for our Housing First program. So we are a compassionate city, and we've done more than our fair share. Jim, we've spoken about this before, where the refugees, subsidized housing, and the homeless. Brief history. Back in the summer, Kevin Kennedy and I, with the past administration, Secretary Bielecki and Undersecretary Aaron Gornstein, we'd gotten wind that there was an investor, developer looking to move 40 or 50 homeless families into downtown Springfield. And we no way to that. We've done more than our fair share. We were given a verbal commitment not to worry about that. I also backed it up with a letter, which people have seen early September, that this could not occur. And I'm trying to follow in the path of the Boston Reserve 2009 Federal Reserve report. Elizabeth Kneebone wrote extensively on it about urban America such as Springfield. You cannot, you must not continue to concentrate poverty on top of poverty. You will completely hinder, if not impede, any progress. We've made tremendous progress in Springfield. Fast forward, we start getting complaints. Our inspectional units go out there, and then we find that emails and letters that I was able to obtain or came to me that eastern part of the state of Boston, Mass Housing, are instructing investors to gobble up as many apartment complexes and large single-family residential homes in the city of Springfield in order to house the homeless of Western Massachusetts behind in the city of Springfield. Absolutely ridiculous. Subsequently, it's like pulling teeth getting numbers from DHCD. They indicate 302 families. Our numbers from my housing director, Jerry McCaffrey, could be 402 families. Obviously, that's multiple. And 397 school-age children, which is the size of a grammar school. When they first had said, well, 70 to 80% are from the Springfield area, it's 54%. The new units are looking to bring in 43% of the state's share coming to the city of Springfield. So we have pushed back to protect our housing and legal rights in housing court. And the bottom line here is, Jim, as we spoke earlier, you really want to help these families. And the putting families, multiple families, co-sheltering, which is a failed approach, throwing money at a problem with no criteria, no program, and just following the orders to empty out hotels and motels. Peter Gagliardi of HAP, well respected, indicate this is a flawed approach. Phil Mangano, who I worked on the federal levels, just sent me something today indicating not the right approach. He's going to be working with Governor Baker. And the last thing I'll say is that when you put situations, my fire commissioner Joe Conan indicated to me, very concerned, you put people in these situations, 2, 3 families in one apartment, they want to protect themselves and also their valuables. Locking occurs, or padlocking, fire hazards, one bathroom, the social, emotional, physical things that can happen. So you can't concentrate poverty on top of poverty. And are they really helping out these families, many from the Boston eastern part of the state? And we need a comprehensive approach. And my brothers and sisters in the surrounding communities, suburbs or rural areas, affluent areas, need to do their fair share. You just cannot keep concentrating and dumping on the city of Springfield.
Mr. Mayor, let me ask you, how do you respond to people who say, look, these are people in need, you've said that, in need of assistance. Of course they're going to be put in an urban area because that has the medical, the counseling, the job training, whatever social services they need. Isn't it just a fact of life, like it or not, that a Springfield, a central city, is going to face this situation?
It is not fair. Many of these individuals are coming from other areas, Western Mass, or the eastern part of the state, as we spoke about. And what really has to be looked at is the right to shelter. From my understanding from my housing director, Jerry McCaffrey, the state, Commonwealth of Massachusetts, and New York City proper are the only two in the nation allowing this. if you do not have a program or criteria, a spigot, you're never going to be able to turn off that water. And you're going to continue to have, as soon as you set foot in Massachusetts, obligated to house you and give you everything that you need, whether ties or not, which means how are you going to stop that flow to the hotels and motels? And as far as a comprehensive program, there has to be follow through. But if everybody really wants to do this, and as far as they talk, but they need to walk the talk, they need to be part, my brother and sister cities and towns around Western Massachusetts, the affluent suburbs or rural areas here or in the eastern part of the state. Everybody doing their fair share would make a big difference of a structured approach where there's a facilitation and backup. But again, if you're going to continue to warehouse and concentrate poverty on top of poverty, as that 2009 Boston Federal Reserve report indicated, you're going to completely hinder and impede any progress that we made. Just because you're poor doesn't make you a bad person. Some of these individuals have gone through some traumatic situations. And when you say family, when you look at those numbers, a family usually includes, it's 2, 3, 4 people on it. And then the children that have to be moved from school to school. There needs to be some continuity, but there needs to be a comprehensive plan. I have spoken to Secretary Jay Ash a number of times, and Governor Baker's office has also reached out too. We'd like to be part of that solution, but what I'm saying is that Springfield has done more than its fair share, and other areas, whether eastern, central, or surrounding Western Mass, have to step it up as far as a comprehensive approach. You cannot continue to dump issues or problems. And again, we've proven ourselves with our Housing First program, commending how we deal with the homeless situation. But it is not fair to the residents of the city of Springfield, nor the business community, nor to the area. That track there, that lower Belmont area corridor, and then the Mattoon Street with the urban pioneers I have down there, but that lower Belmont area corridor, one of the lowest poverty tracks in the Commonwealth and in the nation. It's a recipe for disaster. We talked Cabrini Green in Chicago, not about the warehousing of this, and just putting these families in without any proper backup. My understanding is one of the nonprofits, they have one supervisor for 50 units. How can anything get accomplished? So enough is enough. We've done our fair share, and a comprehensive program has to be looked at.
The Executive Office of Housing and Community Development does say their numbers indicate that the number of families in apartments or congregate housing, multiple families in one apartment, has doubled in the past year in Springfield. They say up to 302. Right. You say you're pretty sure it's more like 400. They also claim the city was aware. The word they used, I know in the quote in the Republican, was city was at the table, knew this was coming. You dispute that.
I'd like to know who the city representative is there. Are they indicating it's a CHD or HAPA or these other nonprofits that were there? Or if there was a city representative there, what level? But the point is, prior to this, we had communicated with the past administration about, in no uncertain terms, that this co-sheltering is a failed approach. We are not going to accept it in the city of Springfield. We've done more than our fair share. And I backed it up with a letter also to these individuals and to these departments. They just went right ahead and did it. And they'll admit, some of these nonprofits will admit that, well, maybe we should have spoken to the city. They just did it. And if you look at the documentation I have, again, the audacity these Boston investors are being told to gobble up apartment complexes and large single-family residential homes in the city of Springfield in order to house the homeless of Western Mass and beyond of the state and the city of Springfield. And then also the edict coming, empty out those motels, empty out those hotels, and whether they have Springfield ties or not, move them into Springfield. And then look at the code enforcement issues they're having. We feel that you're running illegal lodging houses. That's what's being done. And the wear and tear that's going to occur to that neighborhood, school system with Superintendent Warwick, again, 397 school-age kids that they state, and it could be more than that. That's a whole grammar school. And how fair is it to these families, some that are coming from the eastern part of the state, moved in the middle of the night? The support systems are not there. Even in interviews that have come across, they've indicated The mayor is correct. All my ties are in other parts of the state there. My child, my baby doctor's are in the other part of the state there. So what we're asking is you just can't throw money at a problem or issue without having criteria or a program. And what essence DHCD has done is given some of these nonprofits, here's a bunch of money, empty out the motels and the hotels, and put them in Springfield without any type of criteria. So we've proven ourselves, we're more than willing to work on a comprehensive solution that entertains the whole state, and let some other areas do their fair share. That means they're going to have to step it up. If they can entertain buying large single-family homes in the city of Springfield, they can do that in other areas of the state also. And there's some apartment complexes that can be used there, and comprehensive programs. I mean, the goal here is, my heart believes it. You want to help these people get back on their feet, but you just can't have a formula that's a recipe for disaster and say, give it to Springfield. Let Springfield have it. After all these positive things we have going on, it is not fair. It is not right. I'm not going to stand for it. And the people, more and more people, and people in the know have reached out to me indicating it's a flawed approach. And good for you, Mayor, for standing up. Nobody's against the homeless, refugees, subsidized housing. You want proper programs run, and you want the burden to be shared by other surrounding communities, whether in Western Mass, Central Mass, or Eastern Mass.
Well, Springfield Mayor Domenic Sarno, thanks for coming in, talking about this very difficult issue. Appreciate your time, sir.
All right. Charlie Rose of Western Mass. Thanks, Jeff.